All right, now I know a lot of you all are gonna need investment for that new hot fire album you just made in your bedroom studio. I know it, man, and I'm only saying this because I've been here before. You're probably gonna end up taking money from some local kingpin. If they're not a kingpin, it's somebody who just had, invest in stocks all the time, or who just has a lot of money sitting around from different investments and hustles that they've done in the past. And this person's gonna be really inexperienced for you. Truthfully, you're trying to be successful before you have to break down and say, man, I'm really gonna have to work this full-time job. And now you feel like you need to rush and take the quickest money offered, right? But this is gonna put you in a situation that you don't want to be in, and you shouldn't be in this type of situation, but you just don't know it yet. We're gonna address this on today's episode of the Music Money Makeover Show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover Show. My name is Casey Graham, and I just want to hop right in because this is going to be a doozy of a show here right now. Check it out. Can you do this yourself? Can you really invest in yourself? Because if you believe in your product and you can take the time to do this, you can keep the hands out of the pot, right? You can keep everything for yourself, at least for a little while longer, and you'll see that you don't need nearly as much money as you think you do, all right? You're not going to be Beyonce or Jay-Z tomorrow. It takes a lot of time to build up to that type of consciousness for the public. So there's no need to race there. All right. You got to build, and building starts at ground zero. And at ground zero, you got to build it brick by brick. And it takes time, but eventually you'll be further along than the person who isn't building at all. So invest in yourself first. Secondly, nobody will really care about you when you're starting out. And so if you take that investment on too early in the beginning and you spend it too fast, you'll end up wasting the investor's money, because in the beginning you have no leverage. And if you need leverage in the beginning, it's going to cost you a lot of money. No leverage means everything costs more, clearly. So you're going to have to turn some favors here. Now, here's a key question. Do you want to grow your career, or do you want the investor to bail you out of a problem? And I said this on a prior video, but I'm saying this and I'm answering it from the artist's perspective. Now, if you want an investor to bail you out of a current problem, you got to be honest with yourself and say, yeah, man, I don't really, I just need money for X, Y, Z. That's a different conversation. You have to ask yourself this. You're not going to tell the investor that, because what you don't want to do is get involved with the neighborhood kingpin and take this guy's money, and now you're on the run. You know what I'm saying? Because you wasted it all really, really fast. That's not going to be, it ain't going to be a good situation for you. This makes a bad reputation for you, not only in the music game, but in the streets as well. Now, that investment better plug a hole in your boat, or the boat that you have that's sinking. It better plug that hole, because if it doesn't, the investor will want their money back. And if they're shrewd enough, they're going to make you make their money back. See what I'm saying? This causes you to really lose your independence. And when you lose your independence early in the game, man, it gets ugly, because now you on the track. So instead of everybody complaining about the record labels pimping the artist, you getting pimped before you get pimped. So it's like, yo, you really out here. So you gotta put your helmet on with this thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I made a video for all of my investors out there. I'm just chiming this in. If you're an investor and not an artist, go watch this video right here, okay? Side note, in order to have a hole in your boat, you gotta have a boat first. And this just means that you need to have some projects out there that show a proof of concept of what you can do, and show proof that the public will listen to what you're doing, so that you can have, some currency already flowing in right here, so that your investor says, okay, this makes sense. This little guy can do something. I won't feel so bad about losing my money, even if there is money already being generated. Next question. Does the investor bring anything else to the table besides money? Now, this is a real question for you. As a brand new artist coming straight out the bedroom studio, you might not think about this, but this is why this show exists. This investor should bring more than just money. This investor should bring connections and tons of plugs to get you out of the situation that you're in. They should be able to dig into your fan base demographics, or find the demographics for you and pull the fans out, so that they can generate more cash flow for you as a new artist. And if they don't bring those tools, then this is probably not the investor for you. And clearly, as you can see by this video, this isn't the time to do it. Wait a little while longer for this investment. So for clarification, these are the types of people who come to the table with just money. that don't have any connections or resources that can actually do what it is you need to expand your career. The neighborhood kingpin, the regional kingpin, the new hedge fund owner, a young stock investor, a rich dad's kid, a sugar daddy, or just some middle-aged man that had a really good job and saved up some money. These are the types of people that don't come with any connections at all. At all. And I've seen all of these situations. I'm telling you, they never end well. I'm not going to go on a soapbox here. Next question. All right, Casey. Well, look, man, you talking about not taking investment and investing. How am I going to get the money? The same way you had the creativity to get the equipment. However cheap or expensive it was, you figured out what you needed to do to get the equipment, and that's how you're going to get the money. Simple. But don't go looking for the money when you don't have a proof of concept. You're going to screw yourself over. You know what I mean? And somebody else in the process too. Okay, well, Casey, they got more than I can personally invest, man. Like, how you going to tell me not to take this money? Look, they don't know how to invest the money, and neither do you yet. But you might as well keep it trucking until further down the line when this investment actually makes sense. CENTS. All right, well, cool, man. When should I actually take on a private investor since you're so smart? When you know every detail on how you will use the money and every reason you're going to use this money for, and you can present that to the investor so that you can show the investor how they can possibly get a return on their money, that's when you take on the private investor. Plus, the investment that you take from the private investor, you should only have to take it one time to put you in the public consciousness. So either major indie record labels come knocking or major record labels come knocking. I know they say you can do it without a label, but that's only if you build the infrastructure around you the right way so you can succeed without one. All right. Now, with all this building, you already know you're going to need the 60-day record label executive edition to do this building right here. So I recommend you grab that. And you're going to need some consultation with this. So book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com because we got a lot of structuring to do so you can actually take on this investment from the investor and not screw them and yourself. You get what I'm saying? All the money comes in on the business side, not the creative. So let's get down to it. In the beginning, I want you to invest incremental amounts of cash so that you can go from step 1 to step 2 to step 3. A little bit of cash, a little bit more cash, a little bit more cash. I work my job, I save up, I spend it. I work my job, I save up, I spend it, or I invest it, right? Rinse and repeat that process until you get your momentum going. And then it's just rolling at this point. Now you're primed for investment. And as you begin to grow, I want you to develop a plan for that private investment that's just going to shoot you to that level that you need to be at. At the end of the day, you will retain your independence, and this gives you more autonomy over where you go with your artistry. This allows you to win in the game. And then on top of that, when you save the investor for later, right, this gives you more explosive growth, getting you from that home plate at bat to third base. I ain't gonna call it a home run. Some might hit a home run, but at least you can get from that home plate to third base instead of going from home plate to first base. When you take that investor's money from home plate to first base, it's like, yo, we could have did a lot more with this money. So take your time with this so that later when you're ready for the investment, you can go from home plate to third base, and we can bring it all the way back home again eventually with a larger investment. But I guarantee you this, if you take it too early, you're probably going to get discouraged. You'll probably kill your reputation. You say, hey man, look, I had enough. You won't go far enough because it's like, where are you going to get this extra money again? How are you going to find this type of check again? And you'll be chasing the money instead of really working on your creative, and you don't want to do that. That's what I'm saying. So go back, work on your creative, take it a step at a time so we can actually win in this game. I know you feel like you need the money, but at least I saved you a lot of headache, and trust me, I've seen this 3 to 4 times already. So this is nothing new for me. You know what I mean? And I'm quite tired of seeing new artists take that check when they have 0 monthly listeners on Spotify and 1,000 followers on Instagram. Come on, cut it out, man. Like, for real. Anyway, if you make music, you should make money. Visit musicmoneymakeover.com, Music Money Makers, and I'll see you next time. Peace.